Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Wrestling Challenge Review Series. This is for the 29th of August 1993, mere days before SummerSlam 93. So, a useful time. Always good right before the pay per views. And they start with the I'll Be Your Hero Lex Luger music video, which is cornball looking back at it, but it worked at the time, I guess. Then the opening match is a Marty Jannetty match. Jannetty, who does a promo during this particular process, and for an upcoming match with Ludwig Borga. He doesn't pronounce Ludwig's name any better than I do, although he got the last name wrong. I got the first name botched. And that match is going to be at SummerSlam. Jannetty in one of his many stopovers. Here, wrestling Iron Mike Sharp. Something that he has done a bazillion times before. Sharp uses punch kick approach. And very basic stuff there. Irish whips by Jannetty. Jannetty sends the man into the corner. Big monkey flip way of going there. And a drop kick right under the chin by Jannetty. Jannetty with a second one. And sends the man rolling. Obviously brought back mainly for the finishing of the run with Shawn Michaels, which he's here through the summer. I don't know that maybe let's see. I think he runs through the fall. But gone by the beginning of 94, if I remember correctly, on this particular run. Atomic drop by Jannetty. Jannetty, always a talented guy, just didn't have his life together in a lot of ways. Jannetty goes to the top rope, hits the top rope, fist drop, 1, 2, 3, and away we go from that particular contest. We have a plug of an upcoming house show series. Steiner Brothers against Adam Bomb and Bam Bam Bigelow for the tag team championships. Of course, Steiners have the championships at this juncture. And then we kind of move to hype for Mr. Perfect and Shawn Michaels. I don't know that they mentioned the exact location of this particular house show. Sounds like a California house show. This is a California run process here. And anyway, hopefully that is helpful for you to know. Basically, Michaels says that he can handle the former two-time champion. They make fun of Michaels perhaps getting beat by the 1-2-3 Kid, which is upcoming in some towns at the same time, same general area. The Mr. Perfect matches, sadly, because I'm a Mr. Perfect fan, I say sadly, weren't as enjoyable as one would expect. Speaking of not terribly enjoyable, Mr. Hughes is up next in an enhancement talent contest. Harvey Wippleman providing his managerial services. Hughes does very little during this run. Hughes does very little, period, outside of the WCW run, where he was more athletic. Although he does hit a standing drop kick here and manages to go kind of with a sidewalk slam type maneuver against his opponent. He looks good, but he just never got off the ground. Even the matches that were planned with The Undertaker seem to have been scrapped, although he does lay The Undertaker out in the weeks and months leading to this big power slam. He's an athletic guy, just never gets a major push. He actually pulls the man up and then hits the sidewalk slam type maneuver. He has The Undertaker's urn. That's a pretty big deal at the time. We see an Ico Pro commercial, which were big at the time. Even done when Luger was a heel, I believe they're piping that in there. Then we kind of go to... this show seems actually short on wrestling action in a lot of ways. Tatanka, though, who is still undefeated at this point, has been since late 91 when coming into the company, does an enhancement talent match here. Hits several chops, a clothesline over the top rope. Looks like Louis Spicoli might be providing the opposition here. Hits the Samoan drop, which is always weird for a Native American to hit a Samoan drop, but that's what he does. SummerSlam report up next here, and there's hype from Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette says this is Luger's last opportunity. Also says that Luger is required to wear an elbow pad over the surgically repaired elbow. Says that Yokozuna will continue to be a major force in the WWF. Afterwards, they talk about him taking out Kamala, taking out Jim Duggan, taking out Hulk Hogan to win the championship back, and just basically really make Yokozuna, looking back at it, look like $1 million. In all honesty, then we kind of move away from that. We move away from that into a smoking guns. Actually, support with all the baby faces, really. And they all try to run Yokozuna out. Yokozuna's not happy with this. SummerSlam report, basically Bret Hart says he's going to run Jerry Lawler out of town. He's not a king, but Hart believes he is a major force in the area. And then we got Razor Ramon hyping his babyface turn match, really, with the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase as his main adversary here as we go forward. And then we go to a enhancement talent match. Actually, I think this is the final match on this particular program. Shawn Michaels and Rich Myers. Rich Myers, a guy, if you're not familiar with him and you have access to independent wrestling, he was phenomenal in the early 2000s in the Maryland Championship Wrestling area. He does a bunch of squash matches here. Flying clothesline, drop kicks, and eventually a pile driver from Shawn Michaels. Michaels has Diesel as the bodyguard, and that friendship and everything that goes on there is pretty major. Flying clothesline, of course, Michaels headed to SummerSlam to face Mr. Perfect in what ends up being a disappointing match, in all honesty, at least from my estimation. Michaels leaps to the top rope, big clothesline there, and then we see more hype for a house show, and that goes in accordance with everything there, and we see Johnny Polo and Luna Vachon talking about the teaming of their respective men, Bam Bam Bigelow and Adam Bomb, to take on the Steiner brothers for the tag team championships on the house show run. I don't know if that's just because they didn't have tag teams or they were trying to toy with them being a more permanent tag team. But that will close us out for today. We'll be back with the SmackDown review also later tonight. So a short review here, but over 1,000 things for you to check out. So certainly worth doing that. And until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.